The Blue Jays are a couple of wins away from the World Series, and that's not why you're here. You probably want to hear more about AI stuff. Let's get into it right now.
You're watching the pairing mode.
Yeah, I don't care about baseball.
Yeah, that's because you don't care about baseball. We get that. So, I, however, just want to say, yes, the Jays are winning right now. Go Jays. And we are, of course, going to be talking not so much about that, though, and talking about some other things. Gemini has had some updates that some people have seen, some people haven't. Google Homes are, at least in the U.S., being updated, but the effects of the slow rollouts that Google does in this particular case are causing some issues for not only people who are getting the updates, but people who aren't. What else we got? Some ChatGPT news, I believe. You said that they've done some updates as well.
Well, their browser, I tested that. I think that's going to be a winner, but we'll get into that. The whole Google Home thing, it's as you saw before we got on here, because I was testing it. It's like halfway. Sometimes it's one thing, sometimes it's another. So I don't, I guess, have the full rollout because my homes don't sound the same as my phone. My phone is still answering the commands when I say, you know who, do this, even though it's locked and it's not supposed to. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I haven't had time to look at that. So, yeah, Google's at its normal Google thing.
That's right.
But
I haven't, I don't, there's some of these updates I'm not getting until the end of the year or early next year or something along that line. But I have felt the pain of the transition as things don't work quite as well. However, my Gemini Live, not the version that does all the deep thinking and, you know, you have to push the button to talk and everything, but the Gemini Live version has been updated, and now it sounds a lot more human-like. And, you know, it'll even laugh and giggle a little bit and sound excited if you're excited, and sound a little bit, you know, more somber if you sound sad or upset, which is pretty
it sounded
cool.
really good. But I'm hoping they with that 3.0, whenever it decides to drop, they'll actually bring memory in.
Yeah, don't count on it because it's Google. Here's the thing: if Google were the government, the one thing you would never get is a tax rebate, because that's what you would want most.
Yeah,
I said it.
Well, before we get too far into it, I am Robert from Nashville, Tennessee, and
I am Lionel from Toronto, Canada. This the home of the future World Series champions. I'm calling it right now. Okay.
And this is the pairing mode, not the World Series mode.
It doesn't matter. If this were hockey, we'd be talking about it. Baseball is huge. I'm sorry. But
it's huge. On. It's huge. It's the biggest.
It's right.
But before we go on, I want to say that and I'm sure yours, my thoughts and prayers are going out to the Caribbean, especially the island of Jamaica.
Yeah.
It has literally gotten obliterated from one end to the other.
From what I understand, Cuba has been hit really hard now too.
Yes, it has. Fortunately for them, it's just on one end. The other end of their island is okay because it kind of came to the south of the island. But literally, the hurricane was so big at a Category 5 when it came ashore in Jamaica. The eye wall came to the north side of the island as it came in, but it was so huge it covered the entire island. There's damage from one end to the other, and there's a couple resorts I've been to in Jamaica, you know, from a few years ago when we visited there, and one of the resorts I happened to see some footage from it. It's destroyed. I mean, it's going to take a long time. People's houses, forget the resorts. People's houses are gone. Like whole cities are like leveled. It's it's heartbreaking because obviously they don't have the infrastructure. They don't have the rebuild capability. I know the U.S. is sending some aid to evaluate and see what's going on. I'm sure we'll probably assist some as we should with, getting cleaned up.
I have to say,
it's terrible.
I sometimes we get this far into the season. It's already, we got Halloween coming up in a couple of days. I forget that it's still hurricane season. The strongest possibility of hurricanes happen between September and into November. People forget that. They go, but it's cold now. Yeah, here, not in the Caribbean. First of all, it's never cold in the Caribbean. So that is heartbreaking. And it's especially, it's like I didn't even hear this hurricane was even moving until I heard that it had already hit there. So that's something else. So I mean,
well, it's like
if you're a praying person, give them some prayers. If you're not, at least give them some good thoughts.
Yeah, they said it was like the second most powerful hurricane in the Atlantic Basin ever recorded. It's the most powerful to ever hit Jamaica, period, ever.
And we're talking definitely a Category 5, obviously.
Category 5, it was at 895 millibars, which is like the third lowest atmospheric reading, and the winds were sustained at 185 miles an hour.
895?
Yeah.
So, people don't understand what that means for how low that is.
Yeah.
Normally, in walking down the street on a normal day, in most places in North America, we'll say, your millibars are what? Are going to be in the high thousand something very high, 1,200.
Oh yeah, for sure.
On a rainy day, 970 if it's a storm, like a bad storm, possibly tornadoes or something. I mean, for it to be that low, that's insane.
Yeah, it's just wreaking havoc, and my heart really goes out to the people just because being there, I saw the beauty of that country. The people were awesome. It was an amazing time, and it's just. But it's still despite all of the money that comes into the resort areas, it's still a very poverty-stricken country, and they just don't have the infrastructure and the resources. It's just a lot of it's just destroyed. It's sad. So anyway, if you're a praying person, say a prayer. Keep in your thoughts because it's going to be a long road to recovery for sure.
Yeah, and definitely, I say, if you happen to be one of those people that can, give if you can. I don't know about right this second, but there's always going to be somewhere that'll pop up that you can. Make sure it's a legitimate place. Red Cross is always a good bet because the Red Cross goes anywhere there's a disaster. And
I don't know of anything yet, but there's still
that's what I'm saying. Red Cross is one of the few that is guaranteed that 100% of what they receive, especially during a disaster, goes exactly where it's supposed to go, to disaster relief or whatever other project that they're involved in, if you send it that way. So they help out with that because they help with medical, they help with food, they help with clothing, they help with housing.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to go Red Cross, wait a day or two, and you'll probably see a lot of places pop up that are legitimate. Usually, listen to radio, watch TV. They'll give you legitimate links.
Isn't UNICEF another one that is that a
I think UNICEF is more about feeding hungry kids or something like that. I could be wrong.
I could. It could be. I don't know. The name came to my head.
They're not instant disaster relief.
No.
Nonetheless, they're not instant disaster. There's lots that are. In different aspects. So somewhere along the line, if you can afford, then help out because you know what? We have disasters in North America sometimes, and people come and help us. So, and it's not always the neighbor; it could be somebody from further away.
Yeah.
So.
When
we had that major ice storm in Montreal from whatever it was 20 years ago or whatever, it was a lot of people from New York that came up to help get the power back on.
Well, people came from Mexico with the fires in LA.
Yeah, and Canada.
Despite the fact from asshole, wanting to.
Yeah, and Canada, as I said. As he was land-based in Canada, they were Canadian water bombers, which are by far the best water bombers in the world.
So it's sad, but keep them in your thoughts. And
yeah,
this will probably be a little bit shorter of a podcast. We're getting started a little late. There's not any super crazy news this week. Just a few titillating tidbits. I expect some really heavy news probably to break, because I think we have ChatGPT 6 that's probably going to be out first quarter, if not sooner. Hopefully we have Gemini 3.0 coming out before end of the year.
That'll be December. Definitely. They've already pretty much said it's happening. So it will. I mean, whether you and I actually see any semblance of it through the app, probably not until January. In reality, they'll release it December. We probably won't actually see it, or maybe we will, but there's a good chance we won't see it until early January, mid-January.
Yeah.
But that'll be interesting, because there should be some testing. But even when they do, again, there's a chance we'll see 3.0, but we'll still be on 2.5 Flash.
Yeah, it's anybody's guess. So, all that stuff is way up. But interestingly enough, so since we're talking about chatbots, Microsoft decided to drop a big bomb and come out with some updates to their Copilot stuff, which basically runs on the back end of ChatGPT 5. In case nobody knew that, it's still running ChatGPT 5, but they have that image generator we talked about last week. Apparently, still making news about it's in-house built. It's not using like Nano Banana or anything. It's an actual mic. I haven't had a chance to play with it, but people are saying it's just as good as Nano Banana, which I think it's going to be hard to get much past Nano Banana, because Nano Banana is so amazing still. I've still use it all the time. And it's starting to get baked into a lot of other AI third-party applications, which is cool, because now you don't have to jump from one to the other. You can just do it right from within. Like, for example, HeyGen. HeyGen now has Veo 3 Nano Banana capabilities built right into the HeyGen platform, so you don't have to go out to create your avatar. You can just create it right there.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, it's pretty cool, and it actually works really, really well. I'm actually impressed. They made a lot of updates to it, so it's pretty neat. My boss is signing up for HeyGen, 11 Labs, and Riverside, actually, because he wants to start doing a podcast. And I was telling him about the avatar and the voice recording, and they also do voice recordings for clients for the voice over IP phone system. So he's going to use that. So he's all pretty stoked about that. He's pumped up. I was showing him some stuff, and he's liking it. So I'm going to get to play with it at work too, which is fun.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at Chop AI. As a podcaster, one of the biggest challenges is getting your content discovered. That's where Chop AI comes in. Their powerful AI platform automatically finds the most compelling moments from our show and transforms them into short, shareable clips, perfect for social media. It saves us countless hours of editing and helps us reach new listeners just like you. Ready to grow your brand? Well, visit them at chopai.app to see how it works. There'll be a link in the description. And now, back to the podcast.
But speaking of Microsoft, so they came out with an update to Copilot, and it's really embedded into Edge updated. And, they have this Mico, M-I-C-O, that I showed you the other day. I sent you the link for it. And I was playing around with it myself, and it actually was...
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah, well, ironically enough, you can actually turn the new Mico into the old Clippy.
Oh, wait, what? You didn't tell me that.
Well, you didn't give me a chance to tell you that.
Oh, wow.
But yes, you can actually, well, let's see. I bet you I could pull it up.
Let me stop this.
I'll show you. Let me open the browser. Hold on.
I actually went to the trouble to download that so I could share it. For those of you who are young, Clippy is widely believed to be the very first. What do I want to call this? It wasn't AI, obviously, and not really a chatbot either. Artificial assistant or electronic assistant. I can't remember what the term is. Did it assist? No. No. It annoyed most people, but I did think it was funny, and they did up the animations over time. Okay, what do we got here?
So this is the new update screen. It says, "Hey, what's new?" And so this is Myco right here, the new Clippy. So here we go. So listen to this.
Not hearing anything. So.
Oh, that's weird that you can't hear it because I turned on system audio. But I think we had an issue like that with ChatGPT one time. But at any rate, it's not really the voice that I wanted you to hear anyways. So I'm actually going to mute it so he doesn't keep going, "Hey, Robert. Hey, Robert. Hey, Robert." Okay, so like
it's kind of funny.
It makes changes, right? See, like you can click it, it changes form, right? And then if you click it a whole bunch of times, and it's like
just jiggling.
Boing, boing, boing. Come on, Clippy, where are you at? There you are.
What? Oh, you're kidding me. So it's an Easter egg.
Yes. and when you talk to it, the paperclip moves like a mouth.
Oh, you're kidding.
Let's see here.
Because it never did that before. The original
Michael,
Clippy.
AKA new Clippy. What's going on?
Is it not answering? Because it's not moving its little Clippy mouth.
Oh, it's not moving. You're not moving your mouth like you did the other day. Why is that? Are you just because you're Clippy and you can't talk when you're Clippy?
Oh, sorry. All right, let's move on because this is going to be some dead air for anyone who isn't actually watching this. Plus, it lowered your mic volume when you did that.
I apparently that's what was happening before. Let me fix that.
Yeah.
I saw it go down. I was like, so it was Edge that was doing it. So.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense.
I'm gonna have to look at
So now I wonder if it did that to me or for some reason mine isn't doing that. I don't know.
Well, but
because I hear myself live through my system. So
yeah, but you don't have the Clippy thing open, so it must have something to do with that.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm not using a third browser either, or a second browser. I mean,
yeah. So it's now thing. Not change. It's now staying same. So that I'll have to look at that why that's doing it. Anyway, I thought that was kind of fun. I thought it was a cool Easter egg. When it's kind of weird again why you didn't hear it, but it has something to do with this whole audio thing. But when it starts up, it goes, "Hey," I got an English accent. "Hey, Robert, how are you tonight? What's on your mind and what you want to chat about, eh?" And so,
first of all, that's a horrible English accent.
Yeah, I know. I don't do
Chinese there for a second.
I don't do accents very well. So, but yeah, and you can chat with it just like you do the other chat bots, and it has memory supposedly. I haven't had a chance to really test the memory thing very much as of yet.
Well, if I can figure out how to get back into my Microsoft account, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm going. Unfortunately, like at work, we have Microsoft 365, but it's the business side. And in order to use it on the business side, it requires a higher paid version of the Copilot licensing, which we just have like Microsoft Business Standard. It doesn't come with that elevated version. But in the consumer side, because that was my personal account, that I have a Microsoft for Family subscription where all the kids and everything can use Word, Excel, all that. And it's in there. So it's kind of dumb why you can't use it on the business side without an elevated license, but is what it is.
Business.
It's why business fiber is $900 a month for a gigabit. And I can come home for my gigabit and pay $80 a month.
They're just trying to get more money out of you. I know it.
Yeah.
You know it. Everybody knows it.
Yeah, he knows it because he's the one doing it. So at any rate, I thought that was cool. But Microsoft suddenly started releasing all this stuff because of,
Okay.
the ChatGPT browser, and you have the Perplexity browser gaining momentum. But playing around with the ChatGPT Atlas browser, it blows the Perplexity browser away, in my opinion. Now, keep in mind, all of these browsers are using Chromium. So you have Chrome, you have Edge, you have Perplexity browser, you have the Atlas browser,
Yep.
all using Chromium, which is great. I love it because I love Chromium. I think it works fantastic. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of the same features work. And
Basically, all browsers are Taco Bell.
yeah.
That's a movie reference joke. If you get it, you get it.
Where's the beef?
No, that's not the movie rep. That's a commercial.
No, I know it's a commercial.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. So, you know what? Hey, if you're watching and you do get it, leave a comment. Tell me you got that little reference about.
And don't forget to hit
all of them are
that
Taco
like
Bell.
and subscribe button while you're making that comment.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? I'll give you a little hint. If you go to Taco Bell, you probably will need the 3 seashells.
The 3 seashells.
Yeah, you don't get it. So
no, I don't get that reference.
Okay. At least I can say to you who you calling you people, and you'll get that now.
Who are you calling you people? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No more movie references. Let's get on.
At any rate, that's that's what's going on and what I found in the world of chatbots. I think towards the end of the year, it's really going to get some really cool stuff's probably going to land because I can't imagine Google sitting on the laurels.
I believe so. Yeah. I think we got a lot of great stuff coming up. I think ChatGPT and Google are both going to have pretty large leaps forward in their next major updates. But I think I'm probably going to be looking forward to their 0.5 updates 3 to 6 months later, probably 6 months, mainly because they usually fix a couple of things that weren't quite ready for the main update or weren't quite as good as they thought they were going to be. But they also throw in a couple extra little, cookies on top.
Yeah.
Like the 2.5 to me was a much bigger, more, better update productively for most people than 2.0. 1.5 was barely anything over 1. 2 was quite a leap over 1.5, but 2.5 was a massive jump, which is what we're currently on right now. So I expect 3.0 to give us some new stuff and have probably the biggest jump will be in the professional area, like the pro version, and when you need the deep thinking and you want it to do all this, in-depth stuff. For the everyday guy just wanting to chat with the bot, I don't know if we're going to see that much of a difference. Whereas the 3.5 probably will give us stuff. I'm going to make the prediction that if they do give us memory, it's going to be in 3.5 and we'll see it around May. That's my prediction.
And supposedly there's rumors that ChatGPT 6 is going to drop before the end of the year. Which would
I
be
thought that was going to
early.
be next year, so that makes sense because they're trying to compete with each other full on now. At first, it was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to bump into you and you'll bump into me, and I'll push you forward and you push me forward. And they both knew that they were competing, but it was almost like a friendly rivalry. Now they're basically trying to bury each other, which is not a bad thing. I think it's good because they're trying harder to get better stuff out the door. It does mean we're probably going to get buggier stuff more often, but we're probably going to get the better stuff and the fixes faster. So they keep doing this, and we're probably going to see incremental updates more often, some 0.5s some 0.1s and 0.1.1. Or as apparently the internet tried to tell us for years, we're supposed to say .1.1. Shut up. It's a point.
.1.1.
It's like a GIF versus a GIF. Okay, I don't give a damn what anybody says. The guy who made it can come to me right now and tell me that it's a GIF, and I'll tell him no. I don't give a damn what you called it. I'm calling it a GIF.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
If I want GIF, I'll open the jar and spread it on my damn bread. Okay. Anyways.
Well, see, the thing is that, Google needs to get their act together with memory. Microsoft needs to get their act together with with video and image generation. Now, they're working on the image generation because we already talked about that last week. But, right now, Google has image and video generation pretty well in hand. In addition to ChatGPT, also has really good image and video generation. Obviously, the image is, I always say Imogen. It's not Imogen. Imagine. And then with Sora too. But as you and I have discovered, you say you think it's been acting better.
In all fairness, Imagine is something that they still use in the background in some cases. But if you're specifically looking for certain things and you tap on the right thing, Nano Banana is not Imagine. That's a common misconception. That's why it's actually. Oh no! Wait a minute. I'm thinking the wrong thing.
Wait.
No,
yeah,
I think they built it off of it. Well, no, ChatGPT is not. ChatGPT is different. I'm talking about Gemini.
Well,
I understand that, but I'm just specifying that even Gemini isn't exclusively using Imagine anymore. I think they built the Nano Banana on top of Imagine, but Imagine is actually a completely different software at this point now.
I'm aware.
Yeah. So, anyways, having said that, ChatGPT, I would like to say I like its image generation, but it always takes so long and sometimes doesn't even deliver. It claims it's made it, and as a free user, I only get like 2, maybe 3 generations, and then it fails and it doesn't even give it to me. So I say, hey, I didn't get it. And then it says, okay, here it is. And I go, no, it's still not there. And then it says, okay, I'll do it again. Oh, wait, sorry, you ran out of 3 generations. I didn't get one yet. You have to try again tomorrow. So it's not even fun to try, in my opinion. And I can imagine I'm not the only person who's not paying for it that's going through that. But I think that's one of the great things about Gemini is you don't have to be paying for it to make the pictures. Is there a limit? I think there is, but it's a lot higher than 2 or 3, and it always generates a picture. Unless you're trying to give it content, that is not allowed. But generally speaking, if you say, I want a mouse riding a bicycle on top of the ocean, it will make it.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
I don't know why you would say that, but it would do it.
Well, why do people make half the pictures they make?
True. Or the videos like the one I did earlier at the, with me and the
and that just proves that Sora is they've taken Sora for me too has put up way too many guardrails. They've taken way too much of the fun out of it for no reason. There's not any reason to, but
you're right. They put so many guardrails up that even just a standard generation, let's see, you want to say something like using our cameos, me and you playing pool at the bar. Somebody comes over and asks, do you want to buy this Mustang? The guy would walk up and then we would end up saying the words between the two of us in his voice. I mean, it's stupid things like that. It didn't do that before it put up the guardrails.
Right.
It got it right 95% of the time. But now with the guardrails up, it can't even figure out who's supposed to be talking. I did one where I say, because I can't remember what we're talking about. Oh yeah, right. I wanted to play some Battlefield, and you were telling me, you had some stuff to do. And so jokingly, I made a video of Robert, basically knocking on my door. Or what? No, I think that was a different one, but it's the same premise. And one of us, I basically had it. One of us was telling the other one to go bleep off, jokingly, and. It basically had you talking in my voice. And and saying what I'm supposed to be saying, and then my guy just sits down on the couch and doesn't pay any attention, and then you knocked on the door.
Yeah, it's I use it every now and then, but I don't play with it much anymore because it's like half the time it doesn't either won't generate it or it's completely borked, and it's like
but in all honesty, I'm finding the same thing with the VO3 now too. It's VO3 gets a little bit better, the quality's good, but it kind of decides just to stop talking when it should continue. Or it doesn't generate the right audio at all, or something dumb like that. But I do find that VO3's generation is, well, first of all, it's a lot faster, which you pointed out last week too. It's a lot faster. I can start the Sora one, and then start the Gemini or the VO3 one. And the VO3 one will be finished within 2 minutes. And I go back to the Sora one 3 minutes later, and it's still finishing.
Yeah.
And I found another interesting thing is some of the videos that I generate with Sora, I cannot post them. Thankfully, they've changed it so I can now download them from the generation window. I don't have to actually post before I download now. So at least they're not wasted.
But, yeah, I've ran into the same thing, and it'll say something like, "Sorry, you can't use this prompt in Sora. Please, update your prompt."
Oh no, that's a different thing. But yeah, I get that a lot. Like, I mean, I can't remember last time I did it. I wasn't asking it for any copyright material. I didn't ask it to do anything, illegal or immoral. It just perceived what I said as maybe it was too dangerous because I simply said 2 guys sword fighting. I didn't say anything about somebody stabbing anybody or anybody getting hurt.
Violence.
And it says like, nope, can't do that. I mean, there's videos on YouTube of kids sword fighting. Fake swords, but still. But Sora just, I don't know. It has so much promise that it could actually be at least as good as VO, or even better. At least the fast version, better than the fast version, anyways. But it's just too limited. They've tied the hands of anybody trying to use it. So,
well, I'm sure that they'll probably come back and open some of that up.
Well, they already said they were. We talked about it last week. They just didn't say when.
Yeah, they talked about with ChatGPT and allowing some more adult type prompting, if you will. So, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about like this whole. To me, that's not necessarily going to fix the generation problems. With it,
no.
Talking as the same person, or legs growing out of your head, or something stupid. It's like I don't know whether that's going to fix that. That's what I'm saying. I hope that whatever they do with that update fixes some of this generation problem they're having.
Yeah, I would like to see it get fixed. I mean, it is ridiculous. I don't care that I can't make myself do a backflip, without flopping like a fish. That'll come in time. They'll fix it. It'll happen. But if I have my Cameo talking to your Cameo or anyone else's Cameo, or just an AI bot Cameo, whatever, generated person, I want my words to come out of my mouth, not me to walk up, or better yet, a better example is the cop video, and you shared that a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
Where was it? The criminals were telling the cop to put their hands up.
Yeah, and the cop just drops the handcuffs on the ground and walks off. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, that's just too much. Like, can't be violent. So, but here's the difference. I used Sora for that video where I was the cop pulling you over, and it was nearly perfect. And that's before they handcuffed everybody. And it was nearly perfect. I talked when I was supposed to talk. You talked when you were supposed to talk. And then I arrested you for being American on driving in Canada.
It's 5%, maybe 10% of the time it comes out pretty decent. Most of the time I can't remember the last time I created one, even with super basic prompt, that it didn't jack it up.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. Like I did the same thing. I was trying to test it out, and I gave it something simple like I can't even remember, so I'll just like come up with something here, like walking down the street, eating ice cream, and then just looking up at the sun and smiling. And it'll have the ice cream pouring down your hand or something, even though that's not what you're asking for, or it'll have somebody else go by and it'll make you speak when you didn't tell it to. Dumb things like that. Like what I wanted one, like at the end of the one I showed you earlier today, that one did work out. And I had to explicitly tell it that not a single word is spoken after the line that I deliver, right? I'm talking about the one in the bar with the comment about the coworker.
And it'd be nice if they would actually come out with, I know they said they're going to, and I saw another thing that said, yes, it's coming out, but to come out with an Android app instead of having to go to the website, because it just doesn't, the website on your phone just is not, I mean, it's functional, but it's really hard to manage. It's just not right.
It is. And when there's an issue, it's even worse,
Yeah.
And I don't know. They really should. I agree with you. Because it's dumb. First of all, why? Oh, and speaking of which, the browser you were talking about, just to be clear, if you're not a Mac user, you ain't trying it.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was about to say.
Part of it. Yeah.
Well, I was about to say that with their browser, it'd be nice that they roll out the window version soon, because you're right. It's only available on Mac. I played around with it at work on a Mac at work, but obviously I can't bring it home. It's not mine. So I just had a few minutes to play with it. And it was good. I liked it.
So in just a few minutes, you already decided it's way better than the other one, whoever's. I'm forgetting which
Perplexity.
One's which.
Comet.
Perplexity is the good one or the bad one?
No, Atlas is ChatGPT's. Perplexity is Comet.
Okay, so Comet is the one that's not that.
Well,
good.
it's not that it's not so much just bad. It's just, to me, again, the memory thing is a deal breaker. Like, it does memory in the browser too, and you can turn memory off. You can make it to where it doesn't remember. You can still have incognito mode. You still have all the browser functions like you would normally have. But the way they bake in the ChatGPT is way better than the way they bake it in Perplexity, in my opinion.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, I don't have a problem with that with Gemini. I just can't do it in live conversation. I have to click the mic button every time. But it has memory if you're not in the live version. But again, it has to go back and collect that memory. It's not like it's just remembering, but it's doing better, by the way, because every now and then I'll be talking to Gemini, not the live version, and I'll ask it a question like, where was Captain Kirk supposedly born? By the way, it was Iowa. Anyways, and it will talk about that, and then for some reason, and it's kind of stupid because it's no reason to do it, but it'll suddenly say, well, because you're a fan of the Winnipeg Jets. And then it'll go on with some other shit, but the other stuff will be related. And I remember we're having to ask it, what the hell's the Winnipeg Jets got to do with that? Well, because you're a fan of the Winnipeg Jets. And then it would say, oh, you told me this on exactly this date. I'm like, no, hang on. That's not how friends talk to each other. That's not how people talk to each other. Nobody remembers the exact date you told them that you dropped an egg on your foot. I mean, like, if you're going to remember that, you remember it, but you have to use it in context. It did remember that, and for the next few days, it didn't do that again. But then just earlier today, it did the same thing. Not about the Jets, but about something else. It brought up, and it wasn't related. But I think what it's doing is trying to relate to what I might be interested in talking about while still keeping the conversation going. And I mean, it's a step in the right direction, but it's not to the level of ChatGPT, especially considering you can get all that memory stuff You get it right and you get it live without having to push the button.
Yeah, to me, that's just the deal breaker. I've really grown to really use it a lot and rely on it, because there's things that I don't remember, like, hey, I want to pick up this conversation. I don't remember where we left off, and it'd be like, oh yeah, we left off here. You were going to decide on this. I'm like, oh yeah, right, okay, and then we continue the conversation. So it's just, to me, it's just like, and you don't have to be on the paid version to use that, mind you. That's available to free users. The memory is. So in ChatGPT, you have to have an account. You have to sign in with an account, but it is available to free users.
I have the memory. It remembers everything that I talked about with it, but I don't use it nearly as much as you. So, because I feel like I'm going to fall asleep when I talk to ChatGPT.
That's getting better. I've noticed a significant improvement with how much I talk to it.
I really think that despite what it says right now, there's the improvements, even though my free version told me it was updated, I didn't hear any difference whatsoever, even though it said it was. So it may be a slow push on the back end before it actually happens. So it's reading the information that it's supposed to be updated, but it isn't technically updated. So that means it's a back end thing, right?
There's somebody else that does that too.
Oh, that would be Elug. Elug? Did I say that? No, Google. No, I can't say it backwards. Google.
Why would you try to say it backwards?
I don't know. Maybe because if it's a short, people would say what an idiot, and then we'll get 10,000 views.
Yeah, as we discovered today, you have some of the features I don't. My stuff's in and out. It's so Google and Gemini doesn't do any better of a job. And I don't play around with. I don't really play around with Grok. I think you play around with Grok more than I do. But.
I used to. Oh my goodness! Bottom of the 7th. It's 5-1 Jays. I'm sorry, I had to say it. 5-1 Jays. Bottom of the 7th.
Congratulations.
It's not over yet. It's the bottom of the 7th. Don't overdo it. Don't jinx it. If they lose now, the whole of Canada is blaming you. That's like saying the word shutout in a hockey game.
Because I said congratulations?
Yes.
I didn't say anything other than congratulations.
Well, you said congratulations on your Stanley Cup victory to me last year when you thought the Jets were going to win and your team sucked.
And they're going to do it again. You were right about
your team sucking, but then the Jets turned around and got the shit kicked out of them in the second round. By the way, I wish hockey would be more exciting on both ends right now, because I remember we actually got like 3 subscribers one week just from talking about hockey. And back then we only had 9 subscribers. So,
well, we can talk about hockey. We're just talking about how good the Jets are and how bad the Preds are, because we suck again. we suck pretty much as bad as we did last year.
Man, come on.
It's the same. We won one more game. They did it. They showed last year in 10 games you were this. They were 2-2 and something. This year we're like 3-4 and something. So I mean, basically the same thing.
They're better. I see better. Listen, I've said this last year. I'm going to say it this year. What's the name of your general manager?
Trotz.
Yeah. Okay, Trotzy, I know you're not watching us. You don't give a crap about us small potatoes, guys. But if somebody just whispers into your ear, hey, there's these guys that are talking about you, and you're like, I don't care. Remember, we're saying the same thing everyone else is saying. Fire the coach.
Not going to happen.
Okay.
He's got some kind of, I don't know. He just feels like he's still the guy.
One of these?
So,
yeah.
Who knows? But it's
he's delivering.
We're going to be just as bad.
He's delivering them milk and cookies late at night behind the curtain. I don't know.
We're gonna be just as bad this year. So go Jets, because Predators won't have anything for them.
Well, right now, let's say I'll be satisfied with go Jays. Just say it once.
Go Jays.
You don't like baseball anyway, so there you go. You got to root for the Jays because you're not even a baseball fan.
Go Jays.
It sounded really enthusiastic, almost like ChatGPT. With that said, I got to make sure you guys all like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. We did gain one more subscriber this week, but that's nothing compared to the 20 we gained the week before. So get in there, subscribe, put some comments in there, and let us know exactly what you would like us to talk about. And I think we need to call it a night for today. I had to get up in the morning. We started really late doing this. You don't know that, but that's what happened. So I am Lionel. I'm from Toronto, Canada.
And I'm Robert from Nashville, Tennessee. We will see you next week. Peace.